I'm back.
Babe.
Back attack.
Babe.
Babe.
Babe?
Babe.
We're doing the Chill Spot podcast again.
Oh my god, babe.
It's another episode.
Another episode of the Chill Spot podcast?
Yeah, where it's starring me and you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, babe.
Is that okay?
It's all for you.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Could you imagine if we were one of those people?
A whole podcast of, well, baby, I think that...
Baby, ugh. We don't even, like, I mean, you and I call each other baby sometimes in, like, text messages and, like, cuter moments that we have, like, between you and I.
Yeah.
As partners.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
Baby is a weird... It's a tough pet name to... It's a tough pet name for me.
I think even babe is falling out of favor for people. Like, again, I'll call you babe in, like, a text message.
Yeah.
But, like, I've never called you babe out loud.
I like babe.
Hey,
like,
babe.
Like, I'll be like, we'll have friends over and say, like, we just ordered pizza. And I'll be like, babe, can you get the door?
Yeah.
You know? Like, pizza guy's here. Do you mind getting the door, babe?
See, I don't know. For me, it's like, maybe...
But I don't like drawing it out.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Babe.
Babe.
Babe, the door is here. Pizza guy's at the door, babe. No, I don't know. Maybe it's for me, like, whenever I hear a guy call his girlfriend babe, I can't help but feel like he's rude to her. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
it's one of those things where, like, it's okay for us, but it's not okay for other people.
Well, and then if that's the case, then I don't really want to, because I practically never call you babe out loud. Like, ever, really.
Okay, there's this thing that some people have with their relationships where they don't like calling each other by their names. They only like being referred to as, like, babe or baby or whatever pet name that they've decided on for themselves. How do you feel about that?
Like, if you called me Cam or Cameron?
Yeah.
You do that.
Right. Like, I saw a TikTok.
It's my name.
I saw a TikTok of this woman referring to her girlfriend as her, like, birth given name. And first of all, she didn't respond.
Okay.
At first, she didn't respond.
Okay.
And then she, like, realized that her girlfriend was talking to her. And she was like, and she looked at the camera and she was like, what? Ew, I hate that. Like, I'm baby or I'm babe. Like, not name. And I've also heard that there's this
not
song.
Name, baby only, not name.
There's this song by 5 Seconds of Summer called Youngblood, and one of the lyrics is, yeah, you used to call me baby, now you're calling me by name. And it's like a breakup song, so it's like, ooh, like you're no longer mine. Like you call me by my name now instead of baby. And it's like, y'all don't call your partners by their names?
Like you do, it's like, okay. You know what, first of all,
like you're like, will you be my girlfriend? Okay, and then from there on out, you just like never utter their name.
It's baby names. I actually forgot my partner's name because I only called them babe or baby.
Y'all are weird.
Okay, hang on. How old were the people in these TikToks?
They were actually older than us. They were like older millennials. I put them in like mid to late 30s.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, because like my whole thing is that like, and like we've talked about this at length, so I'm not necessarily going to go into it. But like, a relationship is a lot more than the cute parts. You know, it's a partnership that like. There's going to be an important time when we have to call you by your fucking name.
Yeah.
We're meeting our financial advisor or our lawyer for like some kind of legal thing. I'm not going to be
babe, how much of our paycheck should we invest in our RRSP, babe?
Yeah. Babe, this credit card debt is through the roof. Babe, you have to stop spending, baby.
Baby, we're trying to save up to get the foundation of our house fixed. You have to stop spending money.
Baby, he was born our son, but she's our daughter now.
Like, what the hell?
It's like, come on.
Y'all are so weird.
There's going to be important times in your life where you have to refer to your partner as their fucking name.
Oh, don't call me by my name. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, I get the sentiment. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I just think that, like everything on the internet, it's so taken to the extreme.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, no. You know what it is? I've actually just figured it out. I don't give a shit that you feel that way. What I do care about is you making me feel like an idiot for not feeling the way that you feel.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean don't call me by my name? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What if we don't use pet names?
It just happened. It's just whenever I call you. Like, sometimes I call you babe, sometimes I call you Cam, sometimes I call you love, sometimes I call you Cameron.
Yeah.
Sometimes I call you, like, my darling, sometimes you are Cameron Lawrence Smith, goddammit.
Yeah, that happens too. Yeah. Although I never call you by your first name. Your full
Like
first name.
Yeah, Samantha? Mm-hmm. No. Well, because like I've asked that unless it's like unless you're my lawyer, you know. Samantha is like a no-go.
I like to go the other way, and I'll use the latter half. I'll call you Mantha.
Mantha. Yeah.
Mantha Kanisha Mercury. You piece of shit.
Piece of shit. I said goddamn it, not piece of shit.
You know what's funny?
That jumped.
So my my alias in Chill Spot, as well as in real life, my name is Cameron, but people call me Cam. Yeah, I don't think I've ever expressed this before, but you know, for a long time, I actually didn't like being called Cam.
When we started dating, I think you were kind of on the verge of getting used to it. I remember you telling me, because I specifically asked you, because I had gotten in the habit of calling you Cam. I have this terrible habit where I shorten people's names without asking them.
Yeah.
So I've gotten in the habit of like asking to what they prefer. So I asked you, is it okay that I call you Cam? And you're like, I don't mind if people call me Cam. I just don't like it when people get informal with me really quickly.
Yeah, that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Now I don't care. All of my closest friends call me Cam.
Yeah.
But like my
they're your close friends.
My close friends, exactly. Like my name is Cameron though, and if
Yeah.
I don't know you, don't call me Cam.
Yeah.
Like
Imagine like you're working on a movie and you've just met your castmate and you're like, hey, I'm Cameron Smith, and they're like, oh, nice to meet you, Cam.
Like I probably wouldn't get confrontational because I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
But I'd probably do what I just did. You notice my little face just there?
Yeah.
I went. I probably would do that involuntarily.
Yeah.
And then I'd let them pick up on the social cue.
Yeah.
Throw it back in their
So
way,
don't
a little
do that.
subtly, you know?
Yeah.
Just to be like, didn't love that.
Yeah.
But
But okay, so
if
say
we got
like,
close over time,
Yeah.
I would say, you know, if they were like, see you later, Cameron, and like we were getting close, I'd be like, hey, you can call me Cam.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Say this is the exact same situation. You are on set and you're meeting your castmate for like maybe first or maybe even like third or fourth time. You haven't spent a lot of quality time with them. And you're like, oh, hey, like, I forgot your name. What was your name again? And you're like, Cameron. And they're like, cool, Cameron. Is it okay if I call you Cam?
That's different.
Yeah. Because they asked. Does the asking change it?
It would help because, I mean, I wouldn't be, again, I'm not a rude person, so I wouldn't just be like, no, I know you. But like they took the time to actually be like, oh, is it cool if I call you this?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. You know, like whatever. People do call me that. It's not like people don't call me Cam. If they'd be like, somebody like, hey, can I call you Ron? Like, no.
Absolutely not. I don't know. Do I look like a Ron? Where did you get Ron from?
You are not comparing me to the worst character in Harry Potter right now.
The worse than Snape, worse than fucking Lucius Malfoy.
No, I will say
worse than Salazar Slytherin. A literal, what's it called?
Ginger.
Salazar, Salazar the Ginge Slytherin.
The Ginge.
A
warlock, evil
eugenist.
Wizard.
Yeah.
Eugenist.
Yeah, someone who's
into who prefers like certain bloodlines.
Yeah.
Like a Nazi.
Yeah, a literal Nazi. Worse, Ron Weasley, worse than all of those characters.
No, Ron. Listen, I don't want to get off topic, but Ron.
No, go there.
Weasley.
Go there.
In the movies, sucks. He gets no moments. He has all of his moments taken from him and given to Hermione, as a matter of fact. And in the books, he's actually a far more fleshed out character.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Harry Potter right now.
No.
We're not talking about Ron fucking Weasley.
What are we talking about today?
We are, in fact, talking about the great outdoors.
Woo!
Harry and Ron often venture outside of Hogwarts to go to the Forbidden Forest with Hagrid, and the Forbidden Forest is outdoors, so we're talking about nature
Perfect.
today.
Yeah, no, rewind on because I took your transition away from you.
I noticed
You
that.
usually decide when we transition, but
Yes.
I took over that today.
Normally, I let it
had to
get.
take that back.
If those avid listeners of the Chill Spot podcast may notice that we usually have ramble on for about 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes of the podcast.
I'm cutting it off at 9:06.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're gonna hit the ball, hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Fuck. Shit. Okay. So Sam.
Cam.
What's your relationship to nature, the great outdoors?
Nature and I have a understanding,
Is
I
that
should
right?
say.
Yeah.
Yes. I respect nature and I appreciate everything that it's given us because it enables us to live on Earth.
And air to breathe.
With the understanding that I won't fuck with it for too long. Because it's just, we just don't, we're like kind of estranged siblings, you know? I'll spend Christmas and Easter with you and make nice, and then after those couple of days, it's just better if we go our separate ways.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think I agree. Like, would you say that you and I are not nature people?
Yeah, I
Like,
would.
we're not outdoorsy people.
We're city slickers. I will say, I gotta give myself credit. I can make do in nature
course.
for a couple of days. You know, I can go without electronics. I do not mind shitting in a hole, which I have done. Don't ask. I mean, I've used an outhouse. There. An outhouse is a hole in the ground, right?
I didn't ask. That was amazing. You unraveled with zero resistance.
Yeah.
You were like, don't ask. Okay, I shit in a hole. It was an outhouse. Like, it's just like, I say anything.
I just figured, you know, like I said I shat in a hole once. I may as well explain.
Yeah.
I'm like that girl in the Breakfast Club who was like, "Do you want to see what's in my purse?" And everyone was like, "No, I don't." And she was like, dumping it all out.
It's like, all right,
here it is.
But yeah, so the thing, like, I do agree. I prefer the modern comforts. I like living in a house. You know, I built this studio in my basement. You know, I've always been a basement kid. That's where I like to spend all my leisure time. That being said, I have grown to really love nature in my adulthood.
I mean, like, nothing makes you appreciate nature quite like climate change.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, I mean, and this, pardon if this is a little heady, but like, there's something really beautiful about seeing things you never see before or see in your area, right? Like when you live in a metropolitan area and you go to a place that's like pure nature, you're like, this place is just here. It exists.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and now that we have this fancy new camera, you know, I really want to take cool pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Really capture landscapes.
Yeah.
And as a visual artist who's learning how to draw backgrounds, it's going to be handy if I could capture nature.
Yeah.
But no, pre-pandemic, I was like very starkly indoors. I could do like a camping trip for like a weekend.
Yeah.
I could do cottages. Cottages are my bag.
Cottages are cool.
But they're not really nature though. It's like in nature.
Yeah.
But it's a house in nature, right? That's effectively what a cottage is for the most part, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We are not post. We say it to mean where we are. There you go. That's
post-vaccination.
Yeah. Now that we're vaccinated, I've really want to spend more time in nature in general. Being that I've been forced to be inside for so long.
Yeah.
And well, because I mean, like I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, I think before we even started recording with the camera, is to be like, I've never realized how much I need fresh air.
Yes.
And like, but like not like a want, like a need.
Yeah.
Like there were weeks in the pandemic where like I would literally ask myself, when's the last time I stepped outside?
Yeah.
When is the last time I breathed air?
Especially in the winter.
Yeah.
Because it's just so easy to stay inside. It's preferable.
Because it's warmer in here, right? But
and for what it's worth, like even pre-pandemic, everybody, unless you were like snowboarding or cross-country skiing or doing some kind of like specifically outdoor activity, you did your best to stay indoors as much as you could.
Definitely.
That's what you do in winter.
Being cozy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the aesthetic of it all.
But, you know, generally speaking, you'd spend the summers outside.
Yeah.
Outside. Where you would then justify staying inside in the winter.
Yeah.
Unless you're into winter sports, of course. But yeah, man, like I would go outside. Sometimes like days would build up and I would feel this like really anxious feeling in my whole fucking body.
Yeah.
And then go outside and take one deep breath and be like, wow.
This helps a lot.
Air and water.
Yeah.
Who knew you need it?
I feel like therapists and counselors spent the first couple months of this pandemic being like, hey, so many of your problems will be solved by going outside. Are you feeling claustrophobic? Are you feeling trapped?
Yeah.
Go for a walk. Go for a freaking walk. I feel like that's what they all wanted to say is go for a freaking walk.
Go for a walk, dumbass.
Yeah.
Go outside.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm feeling really depressed and I've seen nobody but my family for the last like 2 weeks. And I've just been feeling really trapped and this pandemic has been making me feel really, really nervous. And I feel like my skin is about to break out in hives at any moment. And they're like, have you gone outside? When was the last time you went for a walk? And we were like, oh, right. It's been like 3 weeks. And they were like,
my God.
go for a walk. I'll see you next week.
Showered, gone outside, or talked to anyone in a month.
I haven't gotten dressed properly.
Yeah.
Like, did you try going out? Did you try getting dressed and going outside? Go for a shower, get dressed, go for a walk.
And it's like, wow.
See how you feel.
I'm big though when I go out for nature. Like I'm a shade in the sun kind of guy.
That's totally fine. But like breathing outside air. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's your ideal like relaxation state for like if you were to spend like hours outside?
Honestly, I also am a fan of the shade as of recently. I think I've said this before, but like I have had people in my family who have had run-ins with melanoma, and since then I'm very sun conscious. I like sun protection.
Yeah.
So it would probably be like, I picture like a warm, sunny day. And we have a hammock post in my backyard and a hammock. So
that's nice.
Lounging in the hammock in the shade, but
Hammocks
it's like warm, so you still feel like the warm summer air. It's not too hot, it's not too humid, and there's a nice breeze, and you're just like rocking around in the hammock.
Yeah, me too.
Reading a book, having a
I'm
nap.
very much a backyard, a deck kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like parks are great too.
Yeah. I love a walk in the park.
You know?
Yeah, Victoria Park in Kitchener is a great way
very
to
nice.
clear your head.
I remember we went on a few walks for Victoria Park in the pandemic, and it was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Kind of a little park in the city.
There's also something about it. People are nice in Victoria Park. It
Because
just makes you want to be nice and be a part of the community.
Everyone's trying to respect the space.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, it's like an unconscious thing. If I'm going to a place where, like, lots of people are and we're all here to enjoy it, like, I'm gonna, well, for me, I'm not gonna I wouldn't litter in the first place, but I'm not gonna litter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that, like,
Not gonna be too loud.
not
Not take up too much space.
Not too much space.
Yeah.
And everyone does the same, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to bother anyone, and no one else is either. So we're just gonna keep it this way.
Totally.
It's a social understanding.
You can also be nice and you can be sociable. Like we went for a walk, and it was after we had been vaccinated, and like a lot of people in my city had been vaccinated.
Yeah.
And
So a month or two after
this couple
vaccinations.
was out for a walk with their 2 young kids. One was an infant and one was a toddler. And the toddler like waddled up to us and like
Yeah, it was cute.
kind of like looked at us and like smiled, because you could tell that he hadn't seen anybody except his parents this entire time. And his parents were like, sorry. We were like, no, this
No
is
way.
adorable.
Yeah.
This is so sweet.
And
you know?
we asked him what his name was, and like,
Yeah.
you know, like we had a fun little conversation, and then
Yeah.
I
Stuff like that. I love little interactions like that.
Could I just say, like, a little off topic? It's on the thing that, like, you get all this interaction outdoors, mostly, when you're on walks in the park or whatever.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic, post-vaccination, I live for small social interactions with strangers now.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't hate small talk.
neither do I.
Yeah.
I know I have a couple friends who really have a bone to pick with small talk.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is that, like, it's fine if you don't want to talk about benign nonsense or whatever, but, like, you understand that, like, oftentimes it means that you're going to come off as, like, quiet or, like, aloof or, you know, like, guarded or whatever.
It's also like, okay, so you don't like small talk. So, like, if we pass each other in the park, I should
Fuck
say,
you.
I like, you know, instead of like, hi, how are you? Lovely weather we're having here today. It's, hey, what's the worst thing your mom has ever said to you? And how did that make you feel?
Yeah, really. Like, you only deep talks.
Like,
eh?
I know people who are like, fuck small talk. Like, let's talk about the universe. And it's like, cool. Do you think we're alone
Yeah.
in the universe?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, sorry, I'm new here. Like, is there a McDonald's close by? And also, do you believe in God?
like, there's a standard
Yeah.
for how you talk to people in regards to how well you know them.
Well, do you know why? I've said this before, but do you know why I love talking about the weather? Because everyone can talk about the weather.
Yeah.
There's a reason why everyone talks about the weather.
The reason people don't like talking about the weather is that it's very finite. You know,
Well, yeah.
it gives you something to talk about for maybe 2 minutes.
Well,
If you
it's
were to
also-
actually count it, maybe like 2 minutes, and then it ends. You can't talk about.
But that's the
weather
kind
for
of
too
thing.
long. Unless you're a
Conversation,
meteorologist, I guess.
conversations about the weather are not meant to last for 45 fucking minutes. When someone, if you're like, talk about the weather was always like my pistol in my holster
Yeah.
for retail work. Where it's
Yeah.
like you come in, someone's like, crazy rain, right? Nuts, yeah. Well, anyway, here's your thing, and then like, get out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's
And
how
like,
it
thank
works.
God for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we'll be back with more conversation about the weather. We're gonna take a small break.
Yeah, enjoy this little break. Hey everyone, this is Sam here to remind you that we make sketches as well over on our YouTube channel. Do you want to see me do drag? Do you want to see Cam play a video game that's intent to kill him? Well, head on over to our YouTube page and check us out. Back to the podcast.
That being said, we actually had tornado warnings in Mississauga for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
The other day.
Yeah,
So,
scary.
how about that weather?
Yeah. I forget what we were talking about beforehand.
We're talking about just like our relationship to nature and like your relationship to nature now pre-post vaccination. You have any final thoughts?
I really do enjoy the outdoors.
Me too.
I'm by no means, Bear Grylls with it or anything like
No,
that.
I'm not a wilderness person.
But, if my friends want to go on a cute little, 3-day, 4-day camping trip, I can do that. And if I want to go to my uncle's cottage, which is really a cottage, it's no electricity, no indoor plumbing.
I'd go as far to call that a cabin.
Yeah, it's a cabin. I actually really enjoy it. I love swimming in a lake or an
love
ocean.
unplugging. Yeah.
Yeah, I love hikes. I like, going on boats. I like fishing. There are outdoor activities that I like. And my newfound love of roller skating has, it's given me an opportunity to enjoy the outdoors. I have a couple of friends who skate as well, and we started around the same time. And I love rolling around with them for a couple of hours on the weekends and just like hanging out generally. I like the outdoors. I really, really do. I really do, yeah. Yeah, I do.
No, the outdoors are great because like my whole thing, before we move on, is like, you do so much of one thing for your whole life. And it's, in my opinion, I'll use this word, a little ignorant to assume that you'll just never want to do this other thing, right? Yeah. Like I'm an indoors guy. People would assume I don't like outdoors, but that's not true. I like outdoors sometimes, but I prefer indoors.
Yes.
If my life was a circle, 3/4 of the circle would be indoors.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that last quarter doesn't exist.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And my only and even, okay, put it this way, like my attitude about things I don't like has changed substantially with the pandemic. Life is too short to not like things. I'm starting to realize.
And you said it in the last episode. You were a really stubborn kid. If you didn't want to do something, you're not doing it.
And I'm still very much like, believe you me, there are things I don't want to do. And I'm pretty firm in my beliefs about not wanting to do some things. And I also don't succumb to pressure, which a lot of people read as stubbornness.
Yes.
I personally read it as strength.
It's a little stubborn. It's a little stubborn.
Your pot calling the kettle black here. But like my whole thing is, okay, it's well known that my least favorite outdoor activity is the beach.
Yes.
I don't like the beach.
Yes, you've said this.
That being said, if there was an outing for the beach, I would just now have to prepare myself to enjoy the beach. I'd bring a big umbrella and a comfy chair and a book or something, right? Like I'd bring comfort to the beach.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about adapting. It's all about like being like, well, I don't like doing this thing, but everyone else wants to do it. And you know what? While I might not like doing it, I will enjoy doing it with the people I like to do it with.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. No, for me, like the scale definitely tips towards indoors. And I was like you when I was a kid. My mom would always, I have so many summer holiday memories of being in the basement watching TV, and my mom would like wake up and like bark downstairs at me and be like, go outside, it's a beautiful day. And
just go outside.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Well, because first of all, you barked at me, and like, no, I'm really not going to do it.
Yeah.
But second of all, go outside. Like,
I'm outside now.
Nothing particular.
Cool. I'm outside. What do you want me to do?
I would have loved for my parents maybe to be like, go outside and do this thing you enjoy. As opposed to just be like, make fun.
Or, for heaven's sakes, do something with me.
Yeah, really. Mom!
Hey, I want to go for a bike ride. Do you want to go for a bike ride?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I really enjoy volleyball. Do you want to go to a volleyball court and like kick a volleyball around for a little bit?
Play some basketball or something?
Play catch, son? Like, no one ever offered to do that with me, so
all right,
for
Sam,
fuck's sake.
Let's not dig too far into your childhood trauma, all right?
Moving on.
I think we bagged on your mother enough on this podcast.
I know. She deserves a break.
What is your favorite outdoor activity?
Rollerblading, roller skating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't own rollerblades. I want rollerblades, actually, because rollerblades, so I've learned that roller skates are fun, although people do roller skate outside and for long distances, and it's a thing you can do. Roller skates really do handle the outdoors a lot better, so I want a pair of roller skates so I can like skate around and for like cardio and like exercise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good answer.
I also love hikes because I like going on walks, and hiking is just extreme walking.
This is true. Yeah. So. We'll get into, I want to bring that up again later in the podcast. But yeah, my favorite outdoor activity is definitely walks. I do like walks. I really just enjoy being outside.
Just sitting?
Yeah.
Finding a good spot.
A nice
tree and a
shady spot, hammock, whatever, relaxing. Like, I'll do the things I like to do indoors, outdoors. Like, something I did a lot during the pandemic was like download a couple episodes of something I was watching on Netflix on my phone, and then go on a walk and like, because I'm a degenerate, like smoke a joint and like, enjoy the outdoors, like bask in the sun a little bit and then watch an episode of something. Or if I was reading a book, read a book. Like, just like no time wasted, right? There's no such thing as wasting time. Yeah. You're just spending your time.
Yeah.
And that's what I like doing outdoors, to a far lesser extent, sometimes I'll just drive to a park, sit in the parking lot in my car, and just like do exactly that. Just like watch something, be warm outdoors.
Yeah.
But I think like recently, one of my favorite activities, actually, me and my friends have started doing this. We only have done it a handful of times, but we did it spontaneously a couple of weeks ago, is we'll just like throw a Frisbee to each other.
Yeah.
Chat and throw a Frisbee around.
Yeah, that's
There's
fun.
something very like primal about that, especially being a dude. Like, no, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. There's something very primal and like very like positively masculine about just like doing a really easy physical activity with your friends where you just like chat and stand in a big square and throw the frisbee around, and like some guy gets like, you know, someone of your friends gets like a cool catch, you know, like it was like
You're like, whoa.
they dove for it, and you get to all be like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's a low committal, people can sit down and chill. It's just like it's a great way to spend an afternoon. Throwing a frisbee around, throwing a ball around, you know?
It's very when I say lazy, I don't mean this in a bad way.
It's lackadaisical.
It's lackadaisical. There's a $10 college word right
Absolutely,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Paid for my degree with that one.
No, that's super cool. I love that idea. Yeah, just being outside is nice. I would love to get into something on the water, like canoeing or paddleboarding.
Sure.
I think that canoeing is really it's cute. It's fun.
Water sports are tough for me because I have a thing with like bodies of water that I can't see the bottom of.
Oh, okay,
It's very deep rooted in me.
Yeah.
Well, I told you that story one time about how like I was tubing and like I was not a thrill seeker as a kid ever. Like I'm still not a thrill seeker.
No.
I will admit that my thrills have gotten a little bit higher, but I really mean like a little bit. When I was tubing as a kid, and it was like this guy's first like cottage trip on this lake, and he was excited to have this boat, and he like really whipped me around and like sent me flying off the tube, and I like fell headfirst into the water and like skid. It was like a huge, you know, thing.
Did you get like a water burn, you know, when you like
I didn't get any water burns or anything, but I was extremely frightened. I was young. I was like 10 or 12 or something, bawling my eyes out, and like ever since then, it was just kind of like I don't want to. I'm not attracted to this.
Toxic masculinity strikes again.
I know.
Yeah. You got a big dick boy on a big dick boat, and he just, you know, scars a kid for life.
And it sucks because as a kid, like, I was really being brave in the sense that, like, I really didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But, like, there was pressure, and, like, I thought, like, well, if I force myself, maybe I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then I was jettisoned into a lake at 50 kilometers an hour.
I remember that story. Was your mom really pissed at that guy?
She was so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, if you bring it, like, I don't know anyone home would ever do this. If you ever bring up that story around my mom, she gets just as mad as she did on the day.
It's lasted.
Yeah, it's
There's
very
a bit of a
much.
grudge there.
Yeah, and that's a, you know, very specific circumstance. Actually, before we move on, talking about frisbees. Do you know when the last time I threw frisbee with my friends was?
What?
Before your show.
Oh, for real?
We all went to dinner, and we had like an hour and a half to kill because we wanted to be like as early as possible.
Yeah.
So we just posted up in the Mel's Diner parking lot.
And threw a frisbee
around. Yep.
In the Mel's Diner parking lot.
That's right.
Wait, which?
Not the university one.
Okay, I was gonna say you can't throw a frisbee in that parking lot.
No,
it's way too busy.
We went to the other one.
Okay.
Because that was closer to your show.
Cute.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Buddy Brad just keeps it in his car.
Yeah.
So, and it's some like Sun Life frisbee. It's like a donut frisbee. It has a big hole in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And new age frisbees. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with frisbees.
Those new aerodynamic frisbees they've got.
But we had a lot of fun, and I want to do that more next summer. It's just actually be like, you know, hey guys, do you want to get together at a park and throw a frisbee around for like a couple hours?
It might be hard because everybody's sort of like dispersed in your friend group, but
but my whole thing, and like this is like a little off topic, but like we could just plan it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be fucking spontaneous. I'm so sick of spontaneity. Like, I'm so tired of people being like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And everyone's like, no, I can't because everyone else in my life plans things.
So I have plans today.
Yeah.
So I can't do that.
You know, and like, I'm so like, hey, next weekend, a week from now, do you want to get together here at this time and do this for this long? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. You know, like,
I love spontaneity. I love it when a plan comes together, but I'm also realistic. Yeah. And I understand that you can't do that with people. Because we're all, you know, moving on with our lives. We've got jobs, we've got, you know, rent to pay and stuff to do and people to see. And, you know, people can't be as spontaneous as we were when we were 15.
Exactly. We all had spare time.
If something comes together spontaneously, then that's a beautiful thing. And I'm definitely up for it. I'm not like, don't talk to me unless we have a plan.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to understand that as life goes on, you have less and less time for spontaneity. It's sad, and I think that we could. I think it's a little bit sad because our life is our own, and if you have to plan it, that means that there are things controlling your life that prevent you from being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And I ultimately think that we should be allowed to do that. But,
sure. But for us, like, my thing is that the things controlling my life are things that I want to do. It's not like I'm being like chained to a desk job or something. Like, the reason why I'm so hard to get a hold of nowadays is because I have commitments with other friends who take the effort to plan things. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
I'm all for, listen, like you said, if a plan comes together, if someone's like, hey, what are we doing? You guys doing anything this weekend? And like, it really happens to be open, great. Let's all get together and go. But you might not see friends for months at a time if you're hinging exclusively on spontaneity.
Yeah, if you're just like, oof, I just want to call somebody and like hope that they say yes to this idea that I have.
You know?
You're going to be waiting for a long time.
No, so why not? Why I find, and this is not, for anyone of my friends listening to this, it's not a comment on any one particular person. This is very much a royal you. But like, why are some people so adverse to planning? Some people really fucking hate it. And I just don't get it. Like, I love making commitments.
Yeah.
I love making and keeping commitments. It's my favorite fucking thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't have an answer to your question. I don't think you specifically want an answer to your question.
Yeah.
But some people just, like, spontaneity is a thing. It's a thing that people love. Some people really, they enjoy activities more if there's an air of like, I didn't know I was going to do this when I woke up this morning and now I'm doing it. Oh my God. Like, there's something exciting about it.
Sure. And listen, Sunday afternoons, very much like that for me.
Yeah.
I typically never plan anything on Sundays.
Are you trying to plan your spontaneity with people?
Well, no, I'm not trying to
I
plan.
don't have time to be spontaneous Monday to Friday. Can you do spontaneity on Saturday? Like Saturday afternoon? Because I have a thing in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my whole thing is
Can
that
we be
just
spontaneous after brunch?
hey man, friendship takes effort.
Yeah.
And planning is effort.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I'm being a little devil's advocate here because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't, like if somebody tries to do something spontaneous with me and then like they're kind of in a huff when I say no, it's like, well, you didn't plan anything. You gotta ask me first.
You're mad at me about plans we didn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have a right to say no to plans that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
But I appreciate spontaneity.
Sure.
I do.
I great, but as an adult, it's harder.
I realize that as an adult, it's tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got way off topic.
That's fine. It's
But
allowed.
how do you feel about outdoorsy people, Sam?
Like people who are like, get outside in nature. Like,
Well,
put
no.
down the phone.
Well, okay, that's two very
Pick
different.
up a stick.
See, no, I that's not who I'm talking about. I'm
Go
talking.
in the water.
Yeah.
Stop watching
Do you have
TV.
any more? One more? Do you have any more? Are you done?
The stereo will melt your brain, son. Go outside and climb a tree.
Stereo.
I don't know.
Who the fuck is out here like the radio is ruining people?
I'm sure before television, everyone was like, sitting in front of that radio is gonna rot your brain.
It's gonna rot your ears.
Yeah. Whatever happened to like tilling the fields with a cow?
But no, I mean like people who like, okay, so my life, like we mentioned earlier, is the circle and 3/4 of it is indoors.
Yeah.
The opposite is 3/4 of the people enjoy outdoors.
Yeah.
Do I think that there are douchebags who are like being indoors? Like, obviously, but we're not talking about those people. I mean, like, just like outdoorsy people. I mean, in my opinion, I'm envious.
Yeah.
I would love to enjoy
also,
nature
like,
the way they do.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but like outdoorsy people generally have more energy than we do.
Yeah, obviously.
And I don't know where you get it. Like, where do you get the energy to be like, I'm gonna climb a mountain today? It's like I have to like prepare myself for that. Like you say, like plan it out and be like, okay, today's Monday. Wednesday, I'm going to climb a mountain. Okay, now it's Wednesday. I knew that I was going to do this. I have the energy to climb a mountain today.
Right.
You know?
Well, my whole thing is that, like, it's kind of like the introvert-extrovert argument, right? Where it's like, because that's what they live for, they get energized from doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I never feel tired doing the things I like to do, like drawing or playing video games or, what have you.
Yeah.
Whereas like someone who like loves outdoorsy stuff, if they were to come sit in my dark basement and play games or watch a movie, they'd probably be asleep by the end of it.
Yeah.
You know?
They would just pass out.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's my whole thing. Like, I would love to enjoy the things they enjoy to the extent of which they enjoy it. But I don't. And I think that you're an asshole if you bag on people for not doing the things that you like to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you could be a huge nerd and be like such a basement dweller, and you could be like, people who hike are assholes. Like, God, why hike a mountain when I could do it at Skyrim? You know, it's like
those people suck just as hard.
Just as hard.
Yeah.
They're both on the suck ass spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. But I commend outdoorsy people. I also just think like, okay, we went on vacation last year. We went camping with some friends of mine.
That was fun.
It was fun, but at the end of it, at the end of camping trips, I always go, remind me again why we call this a vacation when we're taking away the comforts of modern civilization.
That's kind of the appeal, though. That's what they like about it.
Yeah, going without.
That's exactly right. Unplugging is what they call it.
I know.
Is what they call it.
I just, like, it's a nice experience. And like I've said, I do, listen, as an anxious person, I am worried that everything I have is going to be taken away from me at any given moment, at any given time. And I spend a lot of energy trying to be prepared for that. So whenever I, like, tie a knot or start a fire or cook a meal outside or pitch a tent, I'm like, great. If the world goes to shit tomorrow, I have some skills.
I could survive a weekend.
That will help me survive.
Yeah.
Oh, see, but, like, I just... Guys, taking away the comforts of home is not a vacation. That's not relaxing. Like, taking all the energy to go without and, like, trying to manufacture it in a different environment. Like trying to maintain ice so that your shit stays cold is a lot of energy. Yeah. Having to pack up your shit so bears don't get it every single night is not a vacation.
Right.
And, like, being covered in bug spray and sunscreen all day long is, like, not a good feeling on my skin.
That's fair.
Like,
it's not what we want. Like, if we were to go on a vacation, like describe to you and I going on a vacation, we want to go to, like, a nice place where we can relax.
Yeah.
Camping is good for people who love being held accountable for things.
Yeah.
who crave responsibility.
Yeah. More responsibility.
I somewhat get the appeal of that, actually. The idea of, like, thanks to the efforts I'm putting in, this trip is running smoother and better for everyone.
Yeah.
There's an appeal to that.
Yeah.
I do get what you're saying, though, where it's like my whole thing is, like, you never really reach above, like, 75% fully rested at any given time at a camping trip.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to the end of the weekend, you're running on, like, 25% battery.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like for me and you, like, we were sore. Yeah. And, like,
it's like low energy mode on your phone where it's like,
battery
like
saver
it's
mode.
operating. Yeah, battery saving mode. It's like it's operating, but, like, the screen is dimmer and, like,
yeah, exactly.
Like certain luxuries are not a thing that you can consider anymore.
My notifications aren't coming up on my always off screen anymore. Yeah. No, it's very much like that, where it's like by the end of the weekend you're like, thank God we did this for 4 days.
Yeah.
Because if we were here for 5, I don't know how much I'd enjoy that 5th day.
I'm at my limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's been 1 full year, and if we were going to do camping again, I'd go.
My battery for camping has been recharged. And I can tolerate it again.
I'm going to be back with more in just a minute.
Okay.
Be right back.
Hang on 1 second. Have you ever wanted to hear Cameron rant about Sonic the Hedgehog franchise unhinged and uninterrupted? Or do you want to see me play a puzzle in a Nancy Drew video game and struggle with it even though I've definitely played it before? Well, then head on over to twitch.tv/chillspot where we stream 3 times a week for your viewing pleasure and our pain. Back to the podcast. So yeah, love and respect for outdoorsy people,
Definitely.
But y'all gotta slow down.
You know what it is? I think I just had an epiphany.
Okay.
If all my friends were coming over to my house to play board games and video games and watch movies and eat good food, they know that coming to my house, I can handle that. Yeah. I got those things.
Yeah.
Going to Cam's house to do that is going to be great. We have friends who are outdoorsy that I would never want to go camping without.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I count on those people to help make the weekend better.
Yeah, to keep me alive.
And it's a balance, right? Like, because I love indoorsy stuff, I have a lot of indoorsy stuff. Because they love outdoorsy stuff, they get to be like, check out this fucking tool that I have. Yeah. So what does it do? And like, I don't know, they throw it at a tree and it's like, check it out. Like, oh, awesome.
Thanks so much. It's amazing.
Yeah. Or like, your outdoorsy friends built that crazy tarp.
Yeah, they basically built us like a makeshift kitchen for us to cook in while we're camping.
And it was so handy. It came in so handy the entire trip.
It was like one of the things that, I think it was like the second thing they set up, like after we put the tents up. They were like, okay, we need a cover while we prepare food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if someone's come over for dinner, be like, man, I really want pizza, but see Cam's making pizza. It's like, he's got those 2 pizza stones. Thank God he has that.
Because the pizza's going to be great.
And it's going to be great.
We're going to have good quality pizza.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's really the message of this podcast, is that, like, do the things you're good at And let other people do the things they're good at.
And appreciate them for it.
Exactly.
I appreciate my outdoorsy friends, you know? We may not be exactly the same, but our separate talents and skills feed into each other really well.
Exactly.
And it can really be a beautiful relationship.
With that in mind,
Yeah.
What's something outdoorsy you wish you could enjoy? Like you just don't enjoy, but you wish you could. I could start.
Okay.
Hiking, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
See, my thing is,
I love a good hike.
I'll go on a hike, but I don't want to be fucking knackered by the end of it. I don't want to just be fucked up by the end of the hike. So I'm not because I'm not a thrill seeker. And like you just described with camping, a relaxing afternoon is not getting so exhausted and sunburnt and bug bitten so you can see a nice view. And I'm sure that's worth it. Now that's the appeal, right? You have to work for the view. Like I get it. I get it. I'll go on a hike if it's like a leisurely walk up into a difficult walk. But if I need to climb vertical at some point, if I'm helping people up a cliff face, I'm not enjoying myself anymore.
Okay.
We are surviving at this point. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, like, so, you know, would I say no to hikes? Like, depends on the difficulty.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I'm like, we're going to go hiking. You want to come? Like, okay, what's the trail like? Like, is there a point that I'm probably going to have to really strain myself?
Yeah.
There might be a few points. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to stay here.
Like, we have some friends who just got back from Banff.
Yeah.
And they did, like, an array of hikes from, like, easy to difficult.
And those dudes are
easy.
hikers. Like, they enjoy hiking.
And it sounds like, because, like, they said that they went on one of the so-called easy trails and it kicked their ass.
Yeah.
So I think any kind of, like, anything outside of a nice trail for you is out of the question. As soon as you get into, like hobbyist hiking category and not just, like, you know, like a nice community park, I think you are out.
I would gladly go on a hike through a forest.
Yes.
Or a hike through a meadow. Or like a spring.
That's a walk.
It's a hike. You call it a hike.
Yeah, you know, if you do it for a long enough
Are you
period of time.
gatekeeping hikes right now,
No,
Sam?
I'm not gatekeeping hikes right now. I'm just trying to be realistic. Like,
You are gatekeeping
you
hikes
like
right now.
you don't like a lot of hills. You don't like a lot of untrodden paths. You know, anything more intense than a dirt path for you, you start getting cranky.
Well,
I've
because-
been on walks with you before, and you start getting cranky.
Because I'm not enjoying myself.
We went for a long walk with his parents in, like, White Rock, Vancouver, White Rock, British Columbia, and we were in a city and there were hills and you got cranky.
Yeah.
You were pissed that your parents took us on this long ass walk with big hills.
Well, my
And we were
parents
on
also
sidewalks.
my parents also have zero fucking regard for who they're with when they walk. They don't give a fucking shit about you. If you get left in the dust, that's too fucking bad.
Yeah.
That's the Donna and Tom experience.
Yeah, we'll see you at the restaurant later. Fuck off,
Yeah.
kid. Yeah.
And you know what? If that in mind, great. If you want to do that, awesome. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take this as slow as possible because I
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My parents' whole thing is that, like, they'll see a thing, but they'll, like, get there, stand there for 5 seconds and be like, cool, scene, check, next thing. It's like, what about indulging in this area a little bit? That's my thing, right? If we were to, like, listen, in my new wanting to not be a bump on a log, I've been trying to get in shape and work out more. I'm sure that I would enjoy strenuous hikes more, that my stamina is a little bit better now, obviously.
But I think you just don't enjoy the activity of it, which is fair.
But I would enjoy the payoff, for sure.
Okay.
Like, if we were to hike to the top of a mountain, I'm sure there'd be lots of times where, like, I would need to slow down or take a break. But, like, as long as everyone's cool with that, like, taking it slow, like, there isn't a fucking competition.
Yeah.
I would love to get to the top and see the view. Drug a camera up there and take a picture or something, you know? Like, that would be great. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But when it becomes to the point where, like, I feel like I'm slowing people down, or I feel like I can barely talk because I can't breathe, you know, like, I'm not enjoying myself. I don't feel like my presence is making people enjoy themselves. So I want to remove myself from the situation.
Gotcha.
And that's usually how that mental works for me when it comes to
Gotcha.
hiking.
Gotcha.
But yeah, again, if you really want to split hairs, I'll go on a walk through a nice meadow.
Yeah.
Or a spring.
Yeah.
Or a forest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm envious of those who really enjoy hikes.
That makes sense.
Because as much as, like, I have enjoyed hikes, I can't say that I always enjoy hikes.
For what it's worth, you're allowed to not like hikes. I guess what I'm getting at here is that like you said, it's something that you don't enjoy. So the more that you try and, like, describe it and, like, you try and get on board with it, the more I'm like, Cameron, you just don't like hikes. Like, stop saying that you would, like, want to suck it up if it were this, and this, and then you eventually describe something that's no longer a hike.
Right.
You're doing that because you don't like hikes. So, like, it's okay. Stick with it.
Yeah, but I have friends and stuff who, like, love doing this stuff, and it's not
Yeah.
that I don't want to do it with them.
Yeah.
You know?
you want to spend time with your friends, but your friends all like this thing, so it's hard.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
I get that.
You know?
Yeah. And that's why you wish you like it more. And that's the answer to the question that we asked.
But what about you?
Valid answer. Anything to do with heights.
Heights.
Yeah, like a lot of people like I've always wanted to try zip lining, but I know that I'm gonna get up there and freak the fuck out and chicken out, and it'll be a waste of time. And he's sort of like I'd love to think that I would want to like climb a mountain, but I get to a certain height and I get very uncomfortable.
Well, you come to the realization that you're very high off the ground.
Yeah.
Like the sea level is way down there.
I really don't like, you want to talk about, last episode we were talking about pictures that our parents have made us take that we hate. Mm-hmm. You know when you go to the CN Tower and there's that like plexiglass.
The skywalk, yeah.
No, not the skywalk. There's that plexiglass section on the like observation deck of the CN Tower and you can like look down and see how high off the ground you are.
Yeah.
My mom wanted a picture of me sitting on that, like sitting on the plexiglass so badly. And like, we like worked through it. Like she made me take a picture.
Wow.
Sitting down on this thing that scared the shit out of me. Like, would not let it go. But Cameron, I am afraid of heights.
Yeah, you have a right to feel like you shouldn't be forced to do something.
Yeah, we can't stand in front of a window and get like the same effect. No.
And she had a very particular image in mind.
She had a very particular image in mind, and she would not let it go until I took the fucking picture. And then she wanted one with me, and she wanted one with my cousin. So I had to take one with me and one with my cousin, and it was the most inconsiderate thing that anybody has ever made me do in my life. Looking back on it, that was so, like, I sucked it up because when you're a kid, you do, and especially me and my relationship with authority, like, I do things that people who are in charge of me tell me to do.
Sure.
Regardless of how uncomfortable it makes me. So, like, she got the GD picture.
Right.
But, looking back on it, that is so messed up.
Oh, it is, for sure.
That is so messed up.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like heights. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm freaking out. I can barely put a toe on the plexiglass. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Well, I love how it just always comes back to, like, for someone new, like someone living in, like, England, listening to this podcast, like, what
my mom is a monster.
What the fuck is wrong with that girl's mother?
This is a lesson in, like,
Get on the glass, Sam! I want a family photo! Like, it's like no! Like, what the fuck?
Mother, please, would it be all right if I take a picture in front of a window? Is there a compromise we can meet, Mother? No, you insufferable little twat! You get your little behind on the plexiglass and take a photo for your mother!
like the picture you paint of your mother is someone who, like, doesn't care about you, who, like, only cares about what she wants. She's, like, vindictive and selfish and messy and gross. And, like, all of these stories you tell, like, your mother is such a nice fucking person. And listen, your story, that was a valid story you just told.
Thank you.
I do think that you were in the right there. And you should have had your space and boundaries respected.
Thank you.
But you could say some nicer things about your fucking mother from time to time.
That'll be the next episode. We'll talk about our moms.
Our moms?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about how much we love our moms.
Yeah.
We'll save it for, like, Mother's Day.
Nice stories that our moms have done.
Like, I only tell, like, I've told a few, like, stories about my mom or my dad that make people go, like, ooh, like, ooh, parenting faux pas. But, like, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, my mom, you know, it's a real strong woman, like, very organized. Like, and she really, like, has inspired me to be that way, you know? And you're like, my mom leaves trash on the counter. It makes me organize the spoons in the dishwasher. You fucking bitch. Like,
oh my God. I don't know where that comes from. You have to understand.
Are we having like a therapy moment right now?
You have to understand that it has just been me and my mom since I was 16 when my parents got divorced. I've been like living with just my mom.
Yeah.
And, you know, as the years have gone on, we've grown a very like Dorothy Zbornak and Sophia Petrillo-ass relationship.
I don't know who those people are.
Golden Girls.
Oh, okay.
Dorothy and Sophia. Where like my mom is only getting older. And my mom has also been alone in the house that we live in for like 10 or 12 years at this point since my parents got divorced.
Go a
So
little
she has
stir
had
crazy.
complete reign of her space. And when you give someone like a tyrannical ass like run over an area, they're gonna be a little quirky. They're gonna get a little weird, and it's gonna be strange to live with them.
Yeah, well, your mom's big on the life hacks.
The power dichotomies in my house is like my mom is up here and I am down here
Definitely.
at all times.
Yeah.
So when I come here,
It's just all coming
it's kind
out.
of like, yeah, it's kind of like when the peasants go to the local pub and like make fun of the nobles.
Right. A little ribbing.
Because they're not around.
Total, yeah.
It's the light ribbing.
Right.
Yeah.
But your mom listens to the podcast.
An avid listener.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, my mom is very lovely, but this is my podcast that I run.
Mommy. I'll have you know.
Yeah, a little light ribbing of my lovely mother every once in a while is called for.
Yeah.
Because she's wonderful, but she's quirky. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's what we love about her.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not in an abusive relationship with my mom. Everything's fine. Back to
You're talking about your
outdoorsy
fear of
people.
heights and like you don't like going high up on things.
I wish I enjoyed heights more.
No, would you like when you say height outdoor activities? You're talking about like skydiving, bungee jumping, like
Sure.
that kind of thing.
I still don't think I would do those specific things.
Yeah.
Because I think that's stupid. Oh, let's get in a plane and jump off it. And skydiving costs so much money.
Yeah.
But I'd love to go for a hot air balloon ride one day.
Oh yeah, I don't think I'd be able to
Couldn't
do
realistically do that
No, I
because
couldn't do it
I'm
either.
terrified of heights.
Well, the only thing keeping you in the air right now is the balloon above you, and the only space you have to walk on is this like basket you're in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like wicker, 10,000 feet, and then the ground.
And like hot air, like a flame.
I'm fine.
You're gonna take me up
you.
in something that's 100% flammable?
Yeah, really.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
You ever heard of the Hindenburg? I'll have you know. Look how that turned out. You know?
Or like I remember like a grade 6 camping trip. We did this whole like you had to like climb up a huge tree and then walk across a wooden log that was suspended in the air by like cables and then go to the other side and like climb back down. And I was like,
I'm all right.
I was the only one who chickened out.
Do you want to know why we're afraid of heights?
Why?
Because we're tall.
I always joke about this, but I'm already up so high.
That's not a joke. You don't have to joke about that. That's a real thing. Tall people, on average, are generally afraid of heights.
Huh.
Because, think about this. If I was to fall over, I'm 5'11", 6 feet tall to help my ego. If I fall, my head is falling 6 feet to the ground.
That's a long way.
If you're high up somewhere, you have to add your height on top of that. If you're 50 feet in the air, you're 56 feet in the air from your head, right?
That's scary.
Every tall person I know is afraid of heights.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, on average.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that I'm not the only one. But yeah, I definitely feel that way. Sidetrack about height. Like one time I was joking around with myself, as you do. Super weird. You know when you joke around with yourself?
Just peak comedy,
you know when you're just hanging out with yourself?
No, I'll be you for a second. Yeah, you know, I was joking around with myself. Super weird. Just tell the story.
I was just like messing around and I was thinking about dips in RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
You know, when they put their leg behind them and they like fall to the ground.
I thought you meant dip like wintergreen chewing tobacco.
No.
Like pack
no, not quite. Yeah, you know when you put a bunch of tobacco in your mouth and then just fall on the ground?
So scared, dude.
No, but I was like, oh, like let's pretend, like let's kind of like train ourselves to do that. Wouldn't that be a fun party trick? So I put my leg behind me and then I realized just how far I would have to go from like from the tip of my head where I hit 6 feet in the air to the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's too far.
Why do you think that like every time they do a death drop where they like jump off of something, they're always like, oh my God!
Because it's terrifying.
Because it's so high out.
It's so scary.
And it's a free fall.
It's like aerial. It's an aerial trick.
And as you grow older, like when you're a kid, you're basically indestructible.
Yeah.
As you grow older and you gain like weight and your bones get longer and more brittle, like you understand that like, there's two reasons why you don't want to fall over for me.
Yeah.
Like I am, for all intents and purposes, like a 200-pound plus individual who is 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
If I fall, that's 200 pounds of force on my whole fucking body.
On your whole
from
body.
6 feet from
It's all
the
within
ground.
you. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a reason why, like last time I remember really falling, I was in Streetsville, the town close in my town. We were filming something, and I had tripped and fallen over onto my shoulder. And I was fine. But my shoulder fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, you know, like, I know how to cushion myself when I fall. It's not a big deal. But, like, my arm was sore for, like, the next week.
Yeah.
After taking 200 pounds of force.
Or like when I fractured my elbow earlier this year, a couple months ago, it was June.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. But when I fractured my elbow, I was skating and I was riding and I was trying to go backwards and my feet fell out from underneath me. So I fell like this and hit my elbow. So like imagine if like my knuckle on my thumb right here is my elbow.
Yeah.
I was like, woo, woo, psh,
yep.
and like on the concrete.
You took your full body's weight at a very fragile part of your body.
And I fractured, like I fractured my radial bone, which is like the thing that lets you
do this.
Do all this stuff right in here.
See this shit, baby? Yeah. That's a fresh radial bone right there.
It's an untouched radial bone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took all of the force of all of this went into this tiny little bone right here.
Your elbow couldn't handle all that woman.
Against concrete, against asphalt.
Yeah.
Like that's messed up. Yeah, so heights are a no-no for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Actually, before we move on to the final thing, I want to do one thing before we take our last break. You know what's an activity I really do genuinely love, outdoors activity?
What's that?
Fishing.
Fishing is great.
I meant to mention that earlier.
Yeah.
I fucking love fishing.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I would love
I've
to
never caught anything in my life, but it's fun.
Yeah. What I mean, it's great to cast a line, you know, in a boat or even on a dock, you know, just like chill out, catch a fish, be like, that's a fish, and then throw it back in the water, you know. Something about the sport of it. It's really fun.
There's something about the intimacy of being in a boat with a small number of people, usually only like one or two other people.
Yeah.
And you're out on a body of water. It's quiet. You got to be quiet when you fish.
Oh, not you scare the fish away.
Most you do is maybe bring out a little like waterproof outdoor radio and like quietly play the radio.
Definitely.
And you just sit.
It's very relaxing.
And if you have something to talk about, you talk about it. And if you don't, you don't.
And it's funny. My love for fishing has grown into like whenever I play a game and there's a fishing mini game in it, I'm like, ooh, gotta do some fishing.
That's great.
I want to catch these fish, dude.
Yeah, fishing and Animal Crossing.
They're the best.
I mean, like,
it's
that's
what
why
I did
was
the most
so relaxed for like the first like 3 months of the pandemic.
It's a shame I can't play that game anymore.
True. Yeah.
I see. Before we take our break, well, matter of fact, we will take our break.
Yeah.
Be right back. Do you want to stay updated on everything ChillSpot, from our Twitch stream schedules to posts about new videos? Be sure to follow us on social media at ChillSpot Show on Instagram and Twitter. Back to the podcast.
Welcome back.
Hello. I've actually been considering deleting my save file on Animal Crossing, starting over.
There's an idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would enjoy it more if I start from the very beginning, because I know for a fact that the game isn't gonna be fun if I just keep like futzing around my island.
It's also fun to see if you would do anything differently.
Yeah, I wonder about that sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll consider it. I'm also just playing lots of games. But, you know, Animal Crossing is one of those things where it's like, I enjoy Animal Crossing so much that I think, like, during the pandemic, I had the epiphany of, like, you know, all the things you do in Animal Crossing, like,
you can do in real life.
Cleaning your house and fishing and spending time with friends.
Growing a tree.
Is something you can do. It's like, I had an epiphany where it's like, the reason why I don't like playing sports games, really, like, or like the hyper-realistic sports games, like the EA sports games, like is typically because I could go out and play the sport.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, there's a disconnect there for me that like keeps me from playing it. I had a similar epiphany with Animal Crossing where I was like, I could just go fishing. I could buy a fishing pole, and some tackle, you know, and go fishing.
Get a little rowboat and just go fishing.
But I would love to do fishing more often. Yeah. If I was ever to go on like a cabin with a lake again, I would definitely want to go fishing.
Yeah, that's a fun one
for sure.
Yeah.
But final stretch of this podcast, Sam. We're almost done, everyone. I know.
Stay with us.
Believe you me.
Stay with us.
So close to being over.
Yeah. So sorry I've wasted your time.
What is your favorite season? You would go as far to say that it is the best season.
Everyone, you need to lay off of summer. Summer is the best.
Yeah, there has been a. I will admit, as someone who's like a cooler season person, I'll get into my opinions in a minute. There has been a major exodus of like fuck summer people.
Yeah,
like I will fully agree with you now that there are a lot of people. It's like cool to hate summer now.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yeah. And, you know, I understand it a little bit because, you know, as we grow older, summer loses its magic because we don't have summer vacation.
Yeah.
We don't have free time, period.
It's just
so
hot.
Summer is really just like do what you did in winter, but it's hot now.
Yeah.
And doing what you do in winter when it's hot outside is difficult.
Sure.
It's not fun.
Sure.
So I sympathize. I understand. One thing I will say is if you think summer is bad, wait until wintertime because climate change is coming for every season.
Coming for every ass.
Okay, so everything's gonna get ready for everything to suck. Your beautiful aesthetic-y winter wonderland thing that you think is gonna happen is not gonna happen. It's gonna be torrential snowstorms. It's going to be horrible gray dark days. It's going to be ice. It's going to be like rain that turns into black ice on the roads. Everything's gonna suck. So lay off of summer a little bit, okay? Because all weather is going to suck if we don't stop burning carbon emissions. So there's that.
So speak with your vote, people.
Yeah.
A little serious note. For some reason.
But I love summer because it's convenient.
Sure.
If you want to get up and go somewhere, chances are you can. It's a lot easier. You don't have to dress up in as many layers. You can just walk outside as you are. You don't have to scrape your car off. The roads are generally in better condition. So even if you don't drive or don't have access to a car, you have access to other methods of transportation, which are easier to do. You can bike, you can walk, which are generally more pleasant in the summertime.
Right.
Public transportation is a lot more accessible. You're not jumping into snowbanks when you get off the bus, which was always a bone of contention with me when I was taking the bus. Shovel the fucking bus stops, okay? I'm tired of going into a literal snowbank when I exit through the side door, like I'm supposed to. You want me to leave through the side door? Shovel the goddamn bus stop. Everything is just like getting around is just more pleasant, and I like that. You know, I appreciate that. And I don't think people take that into consideration when they say, I can't wait for winter. Oh my God, when's the first snowfall? It's like, are you ready for everything to be so inconvenient?
Right.
For the next 6 to 7 months.
Right.
It's gonna be hell.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah.
You almost perfectly did that phonetically.
Yeah.
That the NSYNC or whatever the fuck it is. Backstreet Boys NSYNC.
Yeah. I can appreciate like a spring or a fall because, there's no, it's just as easy to get around in those seasons, but not terribly hot.
We also
it's not supposed to be.
Live in Canada, in southern Ontario.
Yeah.
We're a couple hours away from a winter belt.
Yeah.
So makes sense that we get crazy winters here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you wrap up your thoughts though.
So yeah, I can appreciate a fall and a winter, a fall and a spring because, exact same things that I just said, but it's not so torrentially hot. I'm not a huge fan of extreme heat either. But I'm also not a huge fan of the argument that you can add on more layers if you're cold, but you can't take off once you're hot. There are things that you can do. I have lived in a house with no air conditioning for my entire life. And we've had some pretty crazy summers, and I haven't had air conditioning through all of them. You learn how to cope. Right. Give yourself the permission to eat as many freezes as you want, and stop moving. Get as naked as you're comfortable with, and stop fucking moving.
Right.
Use this as an excuse to do nothing.
There you go.
That's the beautiful thing about summer is that everybody is lulled into this state of it's too hot to do anything. Okay, we don't have to do anything. We're just going to sit here and do nothing. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the excuse.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will say, as much as I agree that the winter people have since come out of the woodwork and it's very much a yay winter, fuck summer. The yay summer, fuck winter people were the oppressive government my whole life. So sure, you could go back. Listen, I think the whole hating a season thing is fucking stupid.
Yeah, we're doing it for funsies.
Yeah. But I think there's people out there who take it very seriously, and I think those people need to loosen up a little bit. Regardless, it's currently winter seems to be the one on top. My preferred seasons are the in-between seasons.
Fall and spring.
The seasons you don't get anymore.
Yeah, because climate change.
Because of climate change.
I'm once again asking you to vote.
We now have 2 seasons, and it's summer and winter.
Yeah.
But no, fall specifically is my favorite season. I know it's very typical of me. Everyone's favorite fucking season is fall.
I will hand this to fall. Fall fashion is so fun.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
you can do dresses and skirts, or dresses and pants, and sweaters and t-shirts, and all that stuff.
You get the best of every world with fall. If I had to rank them, for me, it would be fall, winter, spring, summer, and in terms of my enjoyment of it, because the thing with fall is that you get all of the best parts of the summer, being that some days in the sun it's quite warm, and then in the shade it's a little cooler. But you get to put your fall fashion on, like you just said, enjoy fall fashion, and then the seasons change, so you get to see everything turn orange. That's always a very nice aesthetic for me. It's always very nice, the air feels crisper. I like winter because of the snowscapes, but I do admit, with how extreme weather has been getting in the last couple of years, obviously it is difficult. Like, I mean, shit, we live in Canada. Well, look what happened in Newfoundland last year. Remember the fucking snowstorm they had?
Yeah.
Like,
people couldn't get out of their front doors
for like 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's like holy shit cakes.
Yep.
That's gonna be the whole country soon. So, hey, vote please. I know I will.
Please consider climate change when you vote.
But yeah, so can we firmly say that summer for you,
yeah,
autumn/fall for me?
Yeah.
I think that's good.
That's fair.
Right?
And for what it's worth, like I like fall. Fall is fine. Yeah. The colors, the temperature, it's not as cold as
pumpkin
people
spice
say it always
things.
is. Autumn scents are
the best.
Your mom got like a package. She ordered a bunch of like fall themed candles.
Yeah.
I like the mulled wine,
very
and
nice.
apple cider, and cinnamon buns, and
best,
like pine and like all that stuff. I love a fall scent. I love fall scents.
Also, there's a general mentality of like just get like fall is meant to be spent getting fat for the winter.
Yeah.
And like that's just great.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
You know?
Fall cuisine,
exactly.
soups and
hearty things.
Hearty meals, curries and
like,
stews and meats and yes.
You know?
Pasta bakes.
No, I'm real good.
So good.
Before we wrap up the podcast, Sam.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing or favorite, like, let's say like your favorite activity with every season? Outdoor activities.
Outdoor activities. Okay, so summer we're gonna pick up roller skating again.
Yep.
Winter. This is a hard one. Winter, I'm going to say, like leisurely activities, curling up by the fire, drinking hot cocoa, coziness. Fall, we should try and go apple picking this year. I know it's basic white girl shit, but I would love to pick some fresh apples. I love orchards. I think orchards are beautiful spaces. It's basically walking.
Well, yeah.
It's your level of hiking.
Yeah, it's not strenuous.
And I love fresh produce, and I love supporting local farms. So I think apple picking for me in the fall.
And then we could bake a pie.
And we could bake a pie. Like a fresh apple pie. And then spring. What's like a spring activity?
I don't know. Anything you can do in spring, you can also do in summer.
Yeah.
I do feel like spring is very much like the little brother of the seasons.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to take
gets the hand-me-downs, you know. No one whose favorite season is spring?
I'm sure lots of people, because spring is a season for rebirth.
What?
Spring is a season for rebirth. All the stuff that was dead in winter starts coming back to life again. The trees grow new buds. People love enjoying that.
I've just never heard it put that way. And I must admit, like, using, like, I understand what you're saying, but rebirth is only gives me images of, like, horrific fucking, like,
birth.
Like Cronenberg-ass monsters.
Yeah, like amniotic sac fluid and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
No, lots of people use rebirth to describe spring. Reborn and stuff like that. You know what I will say for wintertime? Christmas activities.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love tobogganing.
Yes.
Put that down. I love tobogganing.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
so easy. Climb uphill, go down.
It's so great.
Yeah. And while you're going down, you're sitting while you're going down.
I will concur. My favorite winter activity is probably either like tobogganing or Christmas activities, like you said. Like I love going to like Christmas fairs or or even caroling or something, right? Like it's always fun and in good spirits. And I enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
For summer, I think that I would definitely put up the, parks with the guys, throwing frisbees around, like relaxing, stuff like that. Something specifically to do in the fall. I would love to go apple picking. That'd be fun. Really just, I don't know. Like, I can't think of anything like specifically for the fall. Pumpkin picking.
Yeah. Going to a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing things like you can only do in a particular season, like pumpkin picking, for instance. Like maybe you carve like a jack-o'-lantern or something.
Yeah.
I'm not really big on Halloween, but like, you can always try.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
I think that Halloween is fun if you have people who enjoy celebrating Halloween the same way you do.
Ooh, you know what my favorite spring activity is? Calling right now, my favorite spring activity is going to get your first like cold drink of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
on hot drinks for a long time.
Yeah.
Being that it's cold outside.
Yeah.
But now it's spring, it's getting warmer.
You want like a colorful, icy.
I want to go to like, for me it'd be like I want to go get like an iced coffee.
Okay.
And drink that and enjoy it.
You're like, it's iced coffee time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tempered enough to understand that. Yeah.
That would be my things. Those would be my things.
Yeah. That's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And as well as pretty good, I think this episode has been pretty good.
I think it's been pretty good too, Kim.
And now it's over.
Thanks so much for joining us again for another episode of the Chill Spot Podcast, everybody. If you like this episode, tune in for more. We do this every single week.
Yep. Be sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Tuesday, 3 p.m.
Love you.
Bye. Hey, did you know that I'm an independent artist? I only talk about it all the time. You can follow me on social media at Cameron Draws. I do cheap commissions and cool characters. Come follow and hang out. Back to the podcast.
Hey everybody, Sam and Cam here. Thank you so much for listening to this latest episode of the Chill Spot Podcast. But we have one more favor to ask of you. Could you leave us a review? It helps us out so much. As Cameron always said, podcasts live or die by word of mouth. So if the platform that you're listening to us on allows for reviews, give us a little cheeky 5 stars or a thumbs up and let everybody know how fantastic the Chill Spot Podcast really is. Thank you so much.
Bye.